Something parents never want to think about, but know they need to be aware of, is the potential for violence in schools.
All students are safe and followed our procedures.
On October 5th, 2022, there was an active shooter hoax in South Carolina that hit about 20 schools from coast to mountain. And this wasn't your run-of-the-mill, somebody goes on social media and posts that they're gonna, blow up a school, which is bad. This active shooter hoax was far more coordinated. It was very targeted.
Thankfully, that incident was indeed a hoax, but they aren't always false alarms, and the threat of school violence is top of mind for educators. Aaron Baker takes a closer look at how proactive South Carolina has become in training and preparing for real threats.
Now, one of the instructors is going to come by and search you again.
We're fairly cutting edge in South Carolina. A lot of people don't know it.
The Palmetto State leading the way by preparing for something that everyone hopes will never happen.
Yes. Do you feel safe?
Shots fired right here.
According to nonprofit organization Everytown for Gun Safety, 33 incidents of gunfire have occurred on South Carolina school grounds from 2013 to July 2024, causing 8 deaths and 18 injuries. A problem in South Carolina and across the country.
Somebody says Columbine or Parkland or Uvalde, we immediately know what that one word means. I don't want any community in South Carolina to have that word association. But the only way we do that is if we're proactive.
The old Gilbert Elementary School in Lexington County has been transformed into the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division's Center for School Safety and Targeted Violence, an investment in proactive safety planning that's supported by the governor, the General Assembly, and teachers' unions.
I'm grateful that our state leadership has invested in an infrastructure that will allow our law enforcement professionals to share best practices with each other,
along with the legislature and the governor's office.
You've seen in other parts of the country when something's happened, nobody knows what to do. Well, that's not how we're going to do it.
SLED trains with law enforcement agencies from across the state.
Day to day, I could have someone from Greenville standing next to someone from Lexington County, standing next to an Aiken County paramedic.
This allows the chaos to be a little more controlled and everybody to understand what each other's going to do.
That collaboration between every level of leadership matters more than ever when seconds matter.
A lot of these tragedies, a lot of these active shooter events on school campuses, they end up becoming multi-agency, multi-county responses. And so it's really important that local law enforcement has cross-trained so that in the event of an actual emergency, they're better equipped to jointly respond.
We'll do it at T, 3-man moving forward.
Captain Wayne Freeman, who manages the program, says the dedicated space allows SLED to partner with law enforcement across the state and train for multiple threat scenarios without distractions.
We need to be able to train from outside to inside, movement efficiently inside, and to be able to transition from a single officer, such as a school resource officer alone, to team tactics where we come together as one and move through the structure.
There you go, let's go.
Including classrooms, stairwells, and how to partner with other first responder agencies like EMS on site.
Working together with SLED gives our providers a much better understanding of the tactical side of what's happening inside. It helps us to reach patients sooner. If we know what's going on, we can be more helpful.
Freeman says SLED's training program has served as a blueprint for other states.
We're in 12th year now, producing a couple of 100,000 students at no cost to all participants. We've traveled to 19 states. We have hosted personnel from Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Utah, Wisconsin, but we've also been asked to go and train in Minnesota, Illinois, Utah, Idaho.
A way to exchange knowledge and techniques.
We owe it to our children to be better and perfect our craft. The only way to do that is through outside collaboration and being open and willing to take on new ideas and change what you're doing to improve.
And fight a threat that's always present.
If we think that we are somehow uniquely situated in South Carolina, that it couldn't happen here, then we are sadly fooling ourselves and we're setting ourselves up for heartbreak. So continuing this dialogue in a moment where we're not responding to tragedy, I think is what equips us to never be in that position in the first place.
At the ceremonial signing to establish the Center for School Safety, Governor Henry McMaster renewed his pledge to ensure that the state has funding for a certified school resource officer in every school in the state.
Ahead on Chronicle.
We're working closely with school districts to get students that have been expelled or who have dropped out.
How South Carolina's first virtual alternative school is offering a different path to graduation for some students.